الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولن ترضى عنك اليهود ولا النصارى حتى تتبع ملتهم قل إن هدى الله هو الهدى ولئن اتبعت أهواءهم بعد الذي جاءك من العلم ما لك من الله من ولي ولا نصير. الذين آتيناهم الكتاب يتلونه حق تلاوته أولئك يؤمنون به ومن يكفر به فأولئك هم الخاسرون. يا بني إسرائيل اذكروا نعمتي التي أنعمت عليكم وأني فضلتكم على العالمين. واتقوا يوما لا تجزي نفس عن نفس شيئا ولا يقبل منها عدل ولا تنفعها شفاعة ولا هم ينصرون. وإذ ابتلى إبراهيم ربه بكلمات فأتمهن قال إني جاعلك للناس إماما قال ومن ذريتي قال لا ينال عهد الظالمين. وإذ جعلنا البيت مثابة للناس وأمنا واتخذوا من مقام إبراهيم مصلى وعهدنا إلى إبراهيم وإسماعيل أن طهرا بيتي للطائفين والعاكفين والركع السجود. صدق الله مولانا العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Allah Jalla Jalaluhu wa Amma Nawaluhu says, وَلَنْ تَرْضَى عَنْكَ الْيَهُودُ وَلَا النَّصَارَى. O my holy prophet, the Jews and Christians will never be happy with you حَتَّى تَتَّبِعَ مِلَّتَهُمْ unless you follow their ambitions, aspirations, their desires. قُلْ إِنَّ هُدَى اللَّهِ هُوَ الْهُدَى. Say, my holy prophet, only the guidance of Allah is the guidance. وَلَئِنِ اتَّبَعْتَ أَهْوَاءَهُمْ. And if you follow their ambitions and their aspirations, بَعْدَ الَّذِي جَاءَكَ مِنَ الْإِلْمِ, after the knowledge which has come to you, مَا لَكَ مِنَ اللَّهِ مِنْ وَلِيٍّ وَلَا نَصِيرٍ. And there would be no helper and no supporter of you against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. الَّذِينَ آتَيْنَاهُمُ الْكِتَابِ يَتْلُونَهُ حَقَّ تِلَاوَتِهِ. Those people whom we have given the book, they recite the Holy Quran according to the criterion. Haqqa tilawatihi, according to criterion. Ulaika yu'minuna bih, they believe in it. وَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ, and whosoever commits the infidelity with it, أُولَٰئِكُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ, they are only the loser. Ya Bani Israel, azkuru ni'mati allati an'amtu alaykum, O the children of Israel, remember my bounty that I have bestowed upon you, wa anni faddaltukum ala alamin, and that we have exalted you to the total universe of those days, the then universe. وَاتَّقُوا يَوْمَ اللَّا تَجْزِي نَفْسٌ عَنْ نَفْسٍ شَيْئًا, and be afraid of the day when no one would be able to avail anyone anything. When no one would avail anyone anything. وَلَا يُقْبَلُ مِنْهَا عَدْلٌ, and no expiation would be accepted from it, meaning from the human being, from the person, and no expiation would be accepted from him. وَلَا تَنْفَعُهَا شَفَاعَةٌ, and the intercession will not benefit him. وَلَا هُمْ يُنْصَرُونَ, neither will they be supported. وَإِذِ ابْتَلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ بِكَلِمَاتٍ, remember the time when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested Ibrahim alayhi salam with a few words. فَأَتَمَّهُنْ, and he completed them, means he fared successful. He fared to be successful. قَالَ إِنِّي جَاعِلُكَ لِلنَّاسِ إِمَامًا, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that I am going to make you the leader of the people. قَالَ وَمِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِي, and he said, from my offspring as well, means, O my Lord, make the leader of the community from my offspring as well. قَالَ لَا يَنَالُ عَهْدِ الظَّالِمِينَ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that my promise will not approach the tyrants, the wrongdoers, the cruels. مَن يَتَعَدَّ حُدُودَ اللَّهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ, whosoever violates the limits and boundaries of Allah is a cruel person. وَإِذْ جَعَلْنَا الْبَيْتَ مَثَابَةً لِلنَّاسِ وَأَمْنًا, and remember the time when we made the Baytul Haram, Baytullah Sharif, the place of coming back, a place of gathering for the people, and a place of peace. وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلًّى, and make from the platform of Abraham, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him, the prayer rug, the place of prayer. وَأَهِدْنَا إِلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْمَاعِيلَ, and we obliged Abraham and Ismail, أَن طَهِرَ, to purify my house for the people circumambulating. Taifin means making the tawaf, the circumambulating people. Wala akifina, and attempting the asceticism, means sitting in the corner. War rukai sujud, and for the people who are genuflecting and prostrating in front of Allah. This is the verbal translation of the passage I recited before you. Here Quran says, O my holy Prophet, don't try to seek the Jews and Christians. Your job is to communicate my message. Whatever was mentioned in the Holy Quran and revealed to you, and other than the Holy Quran, وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. Quran says, مَا آتَاكُمُ الرُّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. whatever the Holy Prophet gives to you, you are duty bound to catch it, to grasp it, to grip it, to catch hold of it. And ma nahakum anhu fantahu, and whatever he prohibits for you, your duty is to avoid it. So this is a system of action and omission in the light of the Holy Quran. Then Nabi Quran Majid says that وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ, and my Holy Prophet does not speak without my previous revelation. Unless we revealed something to him, he does not speak. Speech of Muhammad Rasulullah, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him, depends on the revelation. Therefore, your duty is to catch the precepts and the revelation of the Holy Prophet. And O my Holy Prophet, your duty is to communicate my message, whether in the form of the text of the Holy Quran or the precept of the Holy Prophet. Your duty is to communicate all the material revealed to you in the language of the Holy Quran or in the language of yourself. Your duty is to communicate it to everybody. And Jews and Christians are also in this very scope. Means your duty is to communicate the message to the Jews as well, to the Christians as well. And you have complied with the conditions they prescribed for a prophet. And they have been propagating for you before your arrival, and they were threatening the people that the last and final prophet of Allah will come, and he is with the same ideology, same concept and same tenets, and we shall follow him, and we shall sit together, and we shall work together, and we shall support each other. So therefore we shall defeat you. But when Nabi Kareem came there, so they violated the statements, the contents of Torah and Gospel as well. Quran says, when everything was completely complied with according to their prescription or illustration, so you have completed your duty. Now if you are trying to please them, they will never be pleased with you unless you give up your own religion and follow them. And this is not appropriate for you. Quran says, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِن رَسُولٍ إِلَّا لِيُطَاعَ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. It is the common people's duty to follow the Prophet. Prophet is not allowed to follow anyone else. We did not send any Prophet, but he was to be followed with the permission of Allah or with order of Allah. Means it is duty of the Jews and Christians and other community to follow you, but you are not allowed to show the flexibility or any type of relaxation on account of the political pressure, and they will never be happy with you unless you follow their religion. Kul inna hudallahi huwal huda. This was a demand by the Jews and Christians as well, and by the pagans of Mecca as well. They wanted Muhammad Rasulullah to show certain flexibility and relaxation in the message, and they wanted to mix up the religion of Muhammad Mustafa and their own religion, and they wanted to make it an embodiment of and compendium of different type of the religions. Quran says, inna hudallahi huwal huda. Only the guidance provided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a guidance, and all of the other is misguidance, is misleading. So this type of demands are always made by the secular people. They say that we are ready to believe you, to follow you, but at least you should also listen us and incorporate our information, our suggestion in your religion, so that the the practice of daily life would be facilitated by means of mixture of our suggestions. Quran says this is not a proper way to follow a prophet. Prophet is not allowed to show any flexibility, and the guidance provided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is only a guidance which is to be followed, and no other type of information or any guidance and any information would be included in the text of the Holy Quran or the prophetic traditions. This religion itself is a completed one. Al-yawma akmaltu lakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati wa raditu lakum al-islam deena. This religion itself is a complete religion, a complete code of law for the civilian life and regimental life, and for the peace and for the war and criminal law and civil law, matrimonial law and international law, the law of immigration, etc., etc. All of the kinds and families of law have been incorporated in this code of law. Therefore, there is no need for any supplement or any attachment or any other addition to it. No addition would be made. Only the text of the Holy Quran, the prophetic tradition, would be practiced. Quran says, وَلَا إِنِ اتَّبَعْتَ أَهْوَاءَهُمْ بَعْدَ الَّذِي جَاءَكَ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ. If you try to show the flexibility and follow their ambitions, desires and expectations, so they will try utmostly to mislead you, to deviate you, and it is against your dignity. All of the humanity is duty bound to follow you, but you are not allowed to follow any one of them. بعد الذي جاءك من العلم, after the knowledge you have received, if you follow those people and their aspirations, so it would be a great loss on your part. مَا لَكَ مِنَ اللَّهِ مِنْ وَلِيٍّ وَلَا نَصِيرٍ. In addition to be misled by those people, you will never receive any support and any help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and no would be there to protect you against the punishment and the affliction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Any calamity and affliction afflicted to you would not be neutralized without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is a style of speaking. Directly the speech is being made to Muhammad Rasulullah sallam, but indirectly the nation and community is addressee of this statement. This statement is not appropriate to be directed to Muhammad Rasulullah sallam, because he was not going to show any flexibility or to follow the aspiration and desires of the non-Muslims. And Allah makes us understand that if my prophet is not exempted from this liability, who are you to be exempted from this liability? You are responsible to follow the contents of the Holy Quran and not to listen to somebody else, because if such a things were committed by the Holy Prophet, I would have penalized him. So this is a supposed type of speech. Otherwise, exactly and in real meaning, the community was addressed by Subhanahu wa ta'ala, because such a words cannot be directed to Muhammad Rasulullah sallam, because he was not going to follow their aspirations, desires, and he was not going to show the flexibility in the text of the Holy Quran or the prophetic traditions, but the community was willing to compromise with the atmosphere, with the environment. Quran says your duty is to correct the environment, to reform the environment or atmosphere, and you are not allowed to be merged in the environment or in the atmosphere. الَّذِينَ آتَيْنَاهُمُ الْكِتَابَ يَتْلُونَهُ حَقَّ تِلَاوَتِهِ. Those people whom we have granted the book, يَتْلُونَهُ حَقَّ تِلَاوَتِهِ. In the case of reading this book, this يَتْلُونَهُ حَقَّ تِلَاوَتِهِ, it can be hal, accusative of sentence. It shows the situation of the people of the book, whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the book. Firstly, the companion of the Holy Prophet, who were devotee of the Holy Prophet, and they consecrated their life, their belongings, their movable, immovable, and everything they had, they sacrificed for the sake of the mission of the Holy Prophet. Quran Majid appreciates their struggles. Quran says the people whom we have given the book, when they are reciting it according to the criterion, according to the standard, ulaika yu'minuna bih, these people are believed to have believed in this book. This is one of the translations and one of the commentary. Means the companions of the Holy Prophet was appreciated that when they recite the Holy Quran as the criterion requires them. So means these people are complying with all of the conditions of the recitation of the Holy Quran. Not only recite the Holy Quran, but they practice and experience the content of the Holy Quran. The knowledge and practice, both of the aspects are being utilized. The recitation as well and the practice as well. Those people are believed to have believed in it truly. And the other meaning, some of the people of the book from Jews, just like the Qadir radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and certain other companion of the Holy Prophet who were previously the Jewish scholars, and they gave up the previous religion because when they compared the contents of Torah with the practical and physical life of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they found it very compatible with the feature, with the structure, with the habit, with the custom and usages of Muhammad Rasulullah. May grace and peace of Allah be upon him. When they were very corresponding to each other, they believed, they embraced Islam and they believed in the Holy Quran and the prophetic traditions and Prophet himself sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Quran says, "Ulaika yu'minuna bih." They really believe in it. I mean, those Jews and Christians who were previously Christian scholars or Jewish scholars, but when they came to know that Nabi Kareem ﷺ was completely telling with the contents of their books, and the practice of the Holy Prophet was corresponding to the contents of the books, they believed in Muhammad Rasulullah and they believed in the Holy Quran. Quran appreciates those people who were previously Jewish scholars or Christian scholars, and when they ascertained the situation of Muhammad Rasulullah, they began to believe in him and in his book. وَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. And whosoever rejects the contents of the Holy Quran or reject the authenticity and genuineness and truthfulness of Muhammad Rasulullah, they are really loser. Means they will lose the game in this world as well, because they would be defeated in different wars. According to the revelation of Muhammad Rasulullah, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him, they were going to lose the political game as well. All of the Jews and Christians residing around Mecca or Medina Tayyibah, they were toppled, and all of the oppositions were suppressed by the companions of the Holy Prophet, and he left over a complete code of law, encircling and engulfing and accommodating all of the human necessities in this world and in the next world as well. So when a person violates the contents of such a book or such a religion, he is really a loser person. Here Quran again wants to wind up the subject which was started from very beginning of this surah. Quran says, Ya Bani Israel azkuru ni'mati. O the children of Israel, you should remember, you should recollect my bounties I bestowed upon you. وَأَنِّي فَضَّلْتُكُمْ عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. And I preferred you, I exalted you to the total, then universe, then world. Means in those days the prophethood was also with the Israelites and the kingdom was also with the Israelites. But this claim is not true, that some Muslim commentators of the present time, contemporary scholar, they say that by chance the prophet was also from them and the king was also from them and the other resources of the lives were also under their possession. Therefore Allah says, Anamtu alaykum. But this is wrong, because in those days when Israelites were granted the dignity, the kingdom was not confined to them, and they were not only the prophets but Ayub alayhi salam. He was also a prophet and he was from the Romans. Imam Fakhruddin Razi Rahmatullah writes under the verse of Inna Allah hastafa Adam wa Nuhum wa ala Ibrahim wa ala Imran ala al-alamin zurriyatan ba'duha min ba'd. Here Quran says Allah has chosen Adam and Noah and the family of Ibrahim and family of Imran. Zurriyatan ba'duha min ba'd. So this zurriyatan is a hal, because it is leaning against the Zulhal. Therefore, Baduha min Bad is a subject of Zurriyatan. If a Sifat Mushabba does not leans against the Mubtada or Zulhal or Rufe Alif Lam Ismi or Hurufe Istifham or Hurufe Nafi, so it cannot react. The amal of a Sifat Shabba requires these conditions. So when Zurriyatan is Amil, is giving the Arab to Baduha, it means that this is accusative of sentence and has given the nominative condition to Baduha. Quran says that all can interpret it by the word of Zurriyatan, means according to the original meaning of the Islamic terminology, all means the offspring of a person, means they were chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because they are offspring of each other. Here Quran interprets the all with the Zurriyat, means all as those persons who are offspring of someone. So when there is any preventive, the figurative meaning can be taken. Semantically and according to Islamic terminology, all means the offspring of a person. Here Imam Fakhruddin Razi Rahmatullah writes that when Isaac was father of Jacob and Esau, Jacob and Esau were born twins, identical twins. So the first born was Esau and the second was Jacob. Yaqub, according to Arabic dictionary, it means that the person who was born afterwards. And his other name is Israel. Isra means Abd, Il means Allah. Israel compoundly means Abdullah. But the elder brother was Esau. All of the people of Roman Empire and all of the people of Persian Empire are offspring of Esau, and all of the prophets after that were from the offspring of Jacob. And Ayub alayhi salatu wasalam was son from the offspring of Esau. Therefore, it cannot be called that the kingdom or prophethood was confined to this very family. Now, we will have to believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not by chance but intentionally, granted the bounties to them and bestowed many qualities to them. The prophets were also advented from them, and they were given the man and salwa. The man and salwa means quail. That was a sweet. Man was a sweet and salwa was quail. The quail and sweet were also given, and they were provided with the shadow of the clouds, and the lodging, boarding, and treatment, medical treatment, and their dressing, all of the things were managed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through Moses, and there was no any trouble of earning the money or managing the food. All of the foods and resources of the life were managed by Moses. May grace and peace of Allah be upon him. So such a things were the bounties of Allah which were intentionally granted to the Israelites. And they say that most of the people of the contemporary scholar, they say that since they were proud of their family and they were believing that they are eligible to be put in the paradise because they were offspring of the prophets, therefore their ideology was contradicted and refuted. So this translation is not true, because according to the commentatorial jurisprudence of the Holy Quran, Ya Bani Israel, this speech was started from Bani Israel. So when an order is fixed or applied on a quality, that quality has got a right of the cause. Means the granting of the bounties was on account of being offspring of a prophet, because they had got the names as well and their other identities as well. But what was the cause of the granting of the bounty to them? Quran says, Ya Bani Israel, shows that the bounties were granted to them, bestowed upon them. They were endowed with the bounties of Allah because they were sons of Jacob. So this fact cannot be contradicted, because the lineage is considerable matter in the Holy Quran, and no one can refute it, because when Moses and absent sent means Khidir al-Islam, absent sent were asked to build up the wall of two orphans. So when they wanted to know the reason, Allah said, Kana abuhuma salihah. He was their grandfather in the 9 ancestry. So in 9 ancestry, there was a pious person on account, and by virtue of them, the wall of those orphans were built up. Here, lineage worked here, means there was many other orphans, but no orphans was looked after like that, because they have got no pious person in their lineage. But these two orphans was specially looked after by two prophets, because their forefather was a Waliullah, and they were grandsons of that Waliullah. So this type of benefit was granted to them because of their lineage, not on account of their personal qualities. And similarly, Quran says, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَاتَّبَعَتْهُمْ ذُرِّيَّتُهُمْ بِإِيمَانٍ أَلْحَقْنَا بِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ وَمَا أَلَتْنَاهُمْ مِنْ عَمَلِهِمْ مِنْ شَيْءٍ. Quran says, those people who believed in Allah and their offsprings followed them in their practice, in their belief, but they could not practice like their forefathers or their ancestors. Even then we shall elevate them, we shall upgrade them, and we shall put them together in the same status. In spite of the deficiency of their practice, they would be granted the status of their forefathers because of the virtues of their forefathers. It means that being a forefather is a cause of benefit. Therefore, they would benefit from the lineage. So, according to the Quranic statement, the lineage is beneficial matter, but the reason of the contradiction of Israel was not the lineage, or on account of their lineage they were not eligible to go to the paradise, but the reason was something else, and that reason was they violated the belief and practice of their forefathers, and they invented new type of ideologies. They violated the ideology and concepts of their forefather. When a person goes out of the religion and apostatizes and leaves the Islam for the infidelity, his lineage disconnected. So in these cases, when they said Uzair was son of Allah, and when they said Lan nu'mina laka hatta narallaha jaratan, we will never believe in you unless we see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with our own eyes. So this is apostatization. When Moses asked them to pass through the door, sujjadan wa qulu khittatun udkhulul baba sujjadan, means you are bound to enter through the door in the case of prostration, but they began to creep on their hips and they began to crawl, but they did not accept the suggestion of the Prophet, and instead of saying khittatun, they began to say khintatun. So such a things were infidelities, and the last and final infidelity was refusal in Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when the last and final refusal was made by them, means that was the refusal of Muhammad Rasulullah, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him, and they were beyond doubt, they were infidel, and by the infidelity the lineage cuts off. Therefore Quran says, O Bani Israel, at some times you were offspring of Jacob, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him, and we had exalted you to every person in the universe, but now when you have violated the ideology as well and concepts as well, therefore you are not eligible to be granted the facilities on account of your lineage. وَاتَّقُوا يَوْمًا لَا تَجْزِي نَفْسٌ عَنْ نَفْسٍ شَيْئًا. So this was stated in this very connection, that such a lineage would not be beneficial to a person when the infidelity interrupts in. Since infidelity has intervened between you and Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, therefore your lineage was cut off, and you are not entitled to be granted the facilities which were really due because of your lineage. When the lineage was cut off, and all of the things depending on the lineage were also cut off. Therefore you should be ready for the day. وَاتَّقُوا يَوْمًا لَا تَجْزِي نَفْسٌ عَنْ نَفْسٍ شَيْئًا. And be afraid of the day when no one avail anyone else anything. Means no one would be able to take the responsibility of others upon his own shoulder. It doesn't mean that shafaat would not be there. وَلَا يُقْبَلْ مِنْهَا عَدْلٌ. And no expiation would be accepted from him. Means no one would be beneficial for whom? For the infidels, I have already explained from Surah Tur that the pious forefathers, just like Siddiq Akbar, Farooq Azam, Usman Ghani, Haidar Karrar, Fatima Zahra, Janabi Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Hassanain Karimain, these are the persons by virtue of whom one could be granted the paradise, the status of paradise, the class of the paradise, and the special facilities which are going to be granted to these biggest personalities. The same personality would be enjoyed by their offspring, provided that they are Muslim and they are believing like their forefathers. And if they are violating their ideology, then the lineage would be disconnected and all of the facilities would also be disconnected. And Quran says no expiation would be accepted. وَلَا تَنْفَعُ شَفَاعَةٌ, and no intercession would benefit. Here, this is position of the Israelites and the people like Israelites who were claiming to be of suffering of the prophets, but they are violating the ideology of the prophets. When a person claims certain reverend persons, certain pious persons, but he violates their ideology, his lineage would be considered to have been disconnected, and all of the facilities which were due to be given to him would be withdrawn. Otherwise, shafaat will be beneficial on the judgment day. As it was mentioned in Bukhari Sharif that all of the humanity would gather on the judgment day, and some of them would suggest that at the time of calamity we would go to the pious people. So this is a time of calamity, therefore we should go to a pious person. And there is a difference of opinion among about different personalities, but there would be no difference of opinion about the fatherhood of Adam. All of them will go to Adam unanimously, and no one would differ. When they would go there, and Adam ﷺ would say, "Oh, Izabu ila ghairi, you should go to somebody else." Means he would not say that such an intercession is not beneficial and is unlawful, but he would say this intercession is lawful and beneficial as well and very creditable as well. But a person should be competent to intercede someone on behalf of someone with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Since I have committed a thing which was prohibited for me, therefore I feel ashamed, embarrassed of myself, therefore I am not going to intercede on behalf of you. And one after another they will meet with the different prophets, and consequently they will meet with Muhammad Rasulullah, and Muhammad Rasulullah would say, "Ana laha, ana laha," the intercession for which you have been wandering in whole of the area of Qiyamah, the judgment day. I am for the same purpose. No one else can serve the purpose. Then Nabi Karim ﷺ will intercede on behalf of the people with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, "Wala sawfa yu'tika rabbuka fatarda, irfa rasaka ya Muhammad, sal tota, O my holy prophet, make a question, and whatever you want I shall give you." So this is a conclusive evidence from the Bukhari Sharif that shafaat, that intercession would be beneficial, but not for the infidels. Quran says, "Wala hum yunsurun," and nor will they be supported, mean the people who are not believing in Islamic necessities and they are violating the ideology and concepts and doctrines of their pious forefathers. They would not enjoy the facilities granted to their forefathers. The facilities, the bounties granted to their forefathers, their Muslim forefathers, would be enjoyed by the people whose lineage is safe and sound, means their ideology is accurate and orthodox. Therefore they would be entitled to enjoy the facilities of their forefathers. This is the end of my lecture in English today. Inshallah, in the next week we shall meet with you and give the rest of the lectures. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينُ وَآخِرُ دَعْوَانَا أَنِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. الصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم. الحمد لله رب العالمين.